Hey Con Kids, this is your Module 65, the second part of it, dealing with game theory and some of the ways to solve these things. What I wanted you to do first is get out this piece of paper that had your game theory on it. You can do the first pages like 1 through 4. It's on like Coke and Pepsi and advertising, etc. This one's going to be the prisoner's dilemma, and it's going to talk about Bonnie and Clyde. So what I want you to do first is come down here and do this payoff matrix, and then once you're done filling that in, push pause on the video, fill it in, and then we'll go through what the answers are and how we calculate out who's going to do what. So push pause now, fill in the answers, and then come back. All right, if you're back, you should have filled in like I have on my whiteboard right here. So as you're looking at Bonnie and Clyde, one of the things that's going to happen, if they both decided to confess, right, they'd get 3 years. If somebody confessed and somebody denied, they'd get 1 and 10 respectively. And if they both decided to deny, they could end up with 2 years in jail. Now, one of the things you want to look at when you're doing these, make sure we're looking at something, whether it's you want the lower number or the higher number. Sometimes they deal with profit, and then you're going to want the higher number in the boxes. Sometimes it's something like costs to you, or it's something like this, like jail time. Obviously, then you want the lower number in that case. So as we look at Bonnie and Clyde and what's going to happen, if you look at the top column, or the top row, I should say, if Clyde decides to confess, right, Bonnie has 2 choices. She can confess and get 3 years, or deny and get 10 years. She is going to choose confess, right? That's going to be her choice there. If Clyde decides to deny, Bonnie could come into this box here and get 1 year if she confesses, come down here and get 2 years if she denies. She is going to choose confess. So Bonnie has a dominant strategy in confessing, right? Now, once Clyde knows that Bonnie has this dominant strategy, we are not coming off of this row or this column right here. So Clyde has 2 choices. He can be in this row, or pick this box or this box. If we know Bonnie's here, Clyde has a choice between denying and getting 10 years, confessing and getting 3 years. He is going to confess. Even if Bonnie were to deny, he is also going to confess. So dominant strategy for both people, confess, confess. We're going to end up in this box where they're going to both get 3 years in prison, and they're going to basically rat on each other, right? Now, is that ideal for them? The answer is no. They could come down here and get deny, deny. They'd end up with a year less prison time. The problem is, as soon as somebody picks deny, then the other person could certainly choose confess and get them to have 10 years, and you get out of it by only having 1. This is your classic example of why on the cop show they put the different people into different rooms and interrogate them separately kind of stuff, because the goal is to get the one to flip on the other one. If you both deny, that couldn't happen. But the problem is you don't know what the other person's doing, and there's such a strong incentive to cheat or to turn on the other person that you always are just looking out for your best interest. You cannot trust your friends. If you think your friends are going to have your back, that is 100% untrue. Your friend will do what's best for them. Usually in our school, what would we do? We'd put somebody in Jaden Rice's office, put somebody in Roger Allen's office, and then they start grilling you. And then pretty soon they're threatening, you with this, that, and the other thing. And what's going to happen? Eventually your friend is going to crack and turn you in. So you might as well turn them in. And pretty soon you got confess, confess. If you don't think that's true, well, you're fooling yourself. Even the best of friends, as soon as you start going in, just ratchet it up. Oh, we're going to do something. What? Detention, expulsion. I know not letting you walk across the stage at graduation isn't a big deal maybe this year, because the Lord knows what's going to happen. But at the same time, that's always one that they threaten at the end of the year for you. So when you look at it, something will get that person to turn and confess. This is called the prisoner's dilemma. It's always set up to confess, confess. Now, if you flip your piece of paper over, there are going to be a bunch of ones that look like this, all right? One of them deals with the movie that you watched. One of them deals with Coke and Pepsi and advertising. One is on nuclear war, and one is on true love. I will post, instead of doing like all those like on a video, I will post the answers to those so you can kind of see what happens as the different decisions get made. And that's like, then we'll go back to your PowerPoint and kind of look at how Prisoner's Dilemma works and some of the final things about oligopolies with the rest of this section. So fill in your notes off in Google Classroom. Look at this in Google Classroom. Make sure you're going into Sapling and doing those too. And then know that you're always going to end up confessing. It's just the way it is. Don't feel bad about it. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.